Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. But today I'm chatting about 7 different products that I changed my mind about. I love these videos. I saw a couple of people on YouTube film them, some of my favorites like Liv Loves Her Makeup, Jess from JAM Beauty 89, and then a couple of other channels. So I thought I would film one as well. It kind of got me thinking about which products I used to hate or I didn't like when I first tried them out. And then the more I used them, I fell in love with them. And then also the products that I used to love, but I've changed my mind and I really don't like them anymore. Some of these products are things that I've talked about on my channel before, but a couple of them are things that I haven't really updated you guys on. So it's going to kind of be like an update video and we're just going to chat about products. So I would love to hear from you guys, honestly. So make sure you leave me a comment below letting me know which products you've changed your mind about, whether it was like a good product and then you don't like it anymore or the opposite. I think it would be so interesting to chat with you guys about that. So let's jump into it and I'll chat about my choices. Okay, let me kick it off with the products that went from bad to good on my list. So I did not like these products when I first tried them. In fact, I think I had a couple of them in my collection. I decluttered them and then I repurchased them again and tried them again, and that's when I fell in love with them. So the first product is from IT Cosmetics and it is the Bye Bye Pores Pressed Translucent Poreless Finish Airbrush Pressed Powder. Such a long name, but essentially it is a translucent pressed powder. I wasn't completely sold on it. I actually put it in my project pan for 2018. Anything that has a red sticker on it in my collection is something that I'm trying to use up this year. And I was just trying to finish it up because I didn't feel like it was a terrible powder, but I also didn't feel like it was an essential in my collection. That being said, I hit pan on it and I realized that I'm almost finished with it, and I was kind of sad thinking about the fact that it was going to be gone and I wasn't going to repurchase it. I actually use this pretty often. I love the Kat Von D Lock It Powder Foundation, but that one actually adds a good amount of coverage to the skin, and some days I want something a little bit more lightweight. So when I'm going for more of a natural look, I will go in with this powder and it just sets my foundation into place really nicely without adding any extra coverage, but it still keeps my skin looking matte and keeping my foundation, you know, looking how I want it to look. The reason why I didn't like this the first time I tried it, or the first few times I tried it, is because it didn't give me any extra coverage, but I kind of realized that there are days when I don't necessarily need the powder to give me extra coverage. I just need it to lock my foundation into place. So that is what I use this powder for. This one really surprised me and I've actually been enjoying it a lot. The next product is from Real Techniques, and this is actually a staple in my collection, but it wasn't always a staple in my collection. The first time I purchased the Real Techniques sponge, I did not like it. I was used to the Beauty Blender, and I felt like there was nothing quite like the Beauty Blender. I constantly repurchased the Beauty Blender whenever I needed a new one, whenever my dog got a hold of it, but I felt like the Beauty Blender was a little bit expensive, so I decided to try out the Real Techniques sponge again, just because I was spending so much money on beauty blenders. I love this so much. I don't know why I didn't love it so much the first time. I felt like originally it was a little bit too big for me, and the actual texture is a little bit different than the Beauty Blender, but I actually prefer it to the Beauty Blender now. I haven't even purchased a Beauty Blender since I rediscovered this sponge, and I actually use it to apply powder to my face, and it is the perfect texture, the perfect shape, and the perfect perfect size. And I also like this side to kind of carve out my contour. I just love this sponge so much. It's so much more affordable than the Beauty Blender, so I definitely recommend trying it out or maybe giving it a second chance if you haven't in a little while. These next 2 products are things that I've talked about on my channel a lot in the past, but I do have to include them in this video because when I first tried both of them, I did not enjoy them, and they are higher end products. So I am glad that I found a way to get them to work for me because they were a little bit more expensive, and now I love both of them. So the first product is from Too Faced. It is the Sweet Peach Glow Peach-Infused Highlighting Palette, and I love this so much, but that definitely was not always the case. I was actually about to declutter this product, and I think that I've put it in my everyday makeup drawer and taken it out and put it back in again over and over just because I never really found myself reaching for it. But 1 month I kind of committed to using it and I fell in love with it. So there were 2 reasons why I originally did not like this product. First of all, it's kind of like a powder cream hybrid. I would definitely say that it's mainly a powder product, but it also has a little bit of a creamy feel to it, and I am not a fan of cream face products. When it comes to highlights, blushes, bronzers, I definitely prefer powder. So I kind of couldn't get past the fact that this had a little bit of like a creamy texture to it, but on top of that, it was very subtle, so I wasn't really sure that it was doing a whole lot for me. I felt like whenever I used the products, it took a lot to get them to really show up on my skin, and you know, in my mind, and I feel like in a lot of people's people's minds when a product isn't like instantly super pigmented or super saturated on the skin. You kind of write it off, or at least I personally do, and I'm like, that's not a good product, it's not pigmented. But I've come to realize that I actually prefer face products that are a little bit more subtle. So once I kind of came to that realization, I think I discovered this palette was kind of a staple for me because it is so subtle. And the last product that kind of went from bad to good for me is, of course, my favorite foundation, the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation. It took me forever to figure out how to use this product and to fall in love with it. The first like month that I had it, I really did not enjoy it. And I know a lot of people don't like this foundation because it is a very thick, heavy foundation. And if you're not used to like super full coverage, heavy foundations, I don't think you're really going to enjoy this. It's definitely not lightweight or light coverage. I just felt like it always looked cakey on my skin. It was hard to blend out. I couldn't figure it out at all. And I will say that the color range is a little bit weird. It does oxidize, so it's kind of hard to find your perfect match. But if you can find the perfect color for you, it is going to be amazing if you are a fan of full coverage foundations. The key to this product for me is using it with a super hydrating primer, even if you have very oily skin, because that hydrating primer is really going to allow this product to blend so evenly and beautifully on the skin. But now I've purchased it so many times. It's my go-to favorite foundation in the entire world. I just love how it makes my skin look, and it's really easy to use now that I've kind of gotten it down. And I think that I've repurchased it like 6 or 7 times at this point, which is crazy for me. It's definitely one of my most repurchased products. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about products that I did love, but I changed my mind and now I no longer enjoy them, or I wouldn't repurchase them. I've kind of discovered other products in my collection that I like better, so eventually I will either declutter them, or once I finish them up, I won't repurchase them. So the first one is the Essence Cosmetics The False Lashes Mascara Dramatic Volume Unlimited. So I actually featured this in a recent favorites video, but I did share the pros and the cons. So there are some pros to this product. I really love how it makes my lashes look. They look full and long and beautiful, and they look really, really good when I use this product. The only problem, or I guess a big problem, is that this product transfers like crazy. A few times I was filming videos and I was like, why is there like a super dark line under my eyes? It was because my mascara was just rubbing off onto my foundation, and it left like this really dark black smudge every single time I wore this mascara. But I really avoid it now because I don't ever want my mascara to smudge like that or leave really dark like raccoon eyes. So this product was actually something that I did really enjoy for a while. If you go back and watch either my favorites videos or my everyday makeup drawer videos, I did have this product on hand as one of my go-to foundations for a couple of months. But I will say that my mind has kind of changed on this product, only because, well, for a few different reasons. So this one is the Smashbox Studio Skin Shaping Foundation. It is a higher end foundation with a higher end price tag, and that is the reason why my mind has mainly changed. You get 2 different products in this foundation. You get a foundation side and then also a contour side. So the actual foundation doesn't come with a ton of product. You get 0.26 ounces of the foundation and then 0.14 ounces of the contour, which even for a stick foundation really isn't a ton of product. So the problem for me is that I've gone through this product so quickly. First of all, I've gone through the foundation a lot more quickly than I've gone through the contour. I'm not huge into cream contouring, so I don't know if it would be worth it for me to repurchase this, just because, you know, a good, not quite half, but like a good third of this product is a cream contour. So you're really paying for that, and I don't use it enough to make it worth the price tag. But on top of that, I just went through the foundation so quickly, and I really enjoy the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Stick Foundation. That one's also a little bit more expensive, and that one actually has better coverage. So I feel like I don't use quite as much product when I use that, versus this one, I have to really build it up because the coverage just isn't really where I want it to be. I don't know, all of those factors combined just kind of make it not worth the money to me, and it makes it something that I wouldn't repurchase. So I've kind of changed my mind on it. Okay, and the last product is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This was definitely a product that I loved, that I raved about for a little while, but the more that I use it, the more that I realized I just don't like it any longer. It is their finishing powder in the shade Fair Light, and it is a super, super lightweight powder. It's incredibly lightweight, where I feel like it doesn't really even do anything for my skin. I wouldn't say it even really locks my foundation into place face very well, like the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed, because it's so extremely lightweight that it's totally just a finishing powder. And I realize that they market it as a finishing powder, but I think that I've come to realize that I don't necessarily need finishing powders in my collection. If you're just looking for a powder to kind of finish off your look and really look natural, this might be an option for you. But at the same time, I feel like this is a very dry powder, and I have oily skin. So when I say a powder is dry and it makes my skin look dry, it really has to be like a drying powder, because in general, that's kind of what I look for. I feel like when I apply this powder, it looks just dry on the skin, and I'll show you guys a swatch on my bare hand. It just kind of makes my hand look dry, even though it isn't. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really try to like thoroughly test out a product before I give you my full opinion on it, but sometimes, you know, you change your mind about products. I don't change my mind super often, but there are occasions, so I thought it would be fun to share these products with you. Make sure you let me know in the comments below if there are any products that you changed your mind about, because I would love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.